Everyone, thank you very much for joining this beautiful morning. Hope and pray that everyone must have a wonderful journey. Those spiritual warriors who made our journey successful today was Ishwar Krishna Prabhu, Yamuna Sundari Mataji, Ivy Gautam, Patita Pavan Prabhu, Amol and Smita Panchpande, Sachinandan Krishna Prabhu, Sitala Priya Devi Dasi, Girivari Dhari Prabhu, Raghav Chaitanya Prabhu, Benyamino Prabhu, Manani Mataji, Samantan Swastika Panchal, Saraswati Devi Dasi, Manmata Anand Prabhu, Sundari Radha Mataji, Tapti Ghosh Mataji, Janki Khan Prabhu, Labangalatika Mataji, Prathmesh Prabhu, Shriya Devi Dasi, Sumitra Radha Mataji, Devendra Krishna Prabhu, Devian Sen Saloni, Sweddi Prabhu, Parmanand Hari Prabhu, Nand Anandan Priya Mataji, Nadia Kumar Prabhu, Rag Bhakti Devi Dasi, Kamini Priya Mataji, Shankar San Prabhu and Manjari, Pandurang Devdas Prabhu, Damodarati Mataji, Uttam Bhakta Prabhu, Vallavi Mataji, Rajendra Prabhu, Kasturi Manjari Devi Dasi, Pranath Gopal Prabhu, Radhika Prem Devi Dasi, Raj Vinod Prabhu, Anand Vinodini Devi Dasi, Madhvi Gopi Mataji, Tulsi Priya Mataji, Kamal Priya Devi Dasi, Abhay Joshi Prabhu, Madhav Charan Prabhu, Ananya Bhakti Devi Dasi, Amal Nam Prabhu, Karunamai Mataji, Shrikant Survase Prabhu, Vijay Keshav Prabhu, Rashmi Mataji, Kirti Prabhu, Mahati Konda Mataji, Radha Vallabh Prabhu, Radha Charan Prabhu, Advait Prabhu, Rasha Keda Prabhu, Anand Radhika Mataji, Lalit and Josna Vara, Ravi Pipilia Prabhu, Kamlesh Dingra Mataji, Manoj Kapoor Prabhu, Balram Prabhu, Lekha Mataji, Abhay Charan Prabhu, Sukruti Devi Dasi, Shri Kumar Prabhu, Shyam Sundar Prabhu, Hari Katha Devi Dasi, Pitambar Priya Prabhu, Hemangini Chauhan Mataji, Sumit Prabhu, Suchitra Devi Dasi. I didn't see Parmar Mataji today. And also Rajesh and Sweta, we didn't see them. Amit Prabhu, Prem Priya Padma Mataji, Nakul Grover Prabhu, Sarmishta Sahi, Kanta Mataji. Those are the spiritual warriors who joined today. So let's hear the wonderful song. Hare Krishna.
Hey Gopinath, hey Gopinath, hey Gopinath, hey Gopinath. Mama nivedana shuno, Vishai durjana sada kamarata, kichu nahi mora guno. Amara barasha tumi, tomara charane loinu sharana, tomara kinkara ami. Hey Gopinath, hey Gopinath, hey Gopinath, hey Gopinath. Ke mone shodhibe more, na jani bhakati karne jada mati, padchi sansara ghore. Shakali tomara maya, nahi mama bala jnana sunirmala, swadhinana he kaya. Hey Gopinath, hey Gopinath, Gopinath, hey Gopinath. Charanistana Mage pamora kadiya kadiya Karahe karuna dana Tumi to shakali para Dujane tarite tomara shakati Ke ache papira Gopinath, hey Gopinath, hey Gopinath, hey Gopinath. Tumi kripa paravara Ashiya prapanche lila koile suvistara Ami ki doshe doshi Asura sakala paila charana Vinodata kila bashi Hey Gopinath, hey Gopinath, hey Gopinath, hey Gopinath, hey Gopinath, hey Gopinath. Hey Gopinath, hey Gopinath.
Thank you very much, Ishwar Krishna Prabhu, for playing a wonderful song. And today in the meditation, we finish those 9 keys to improve the chanting. So I think it would be nice that we just glance it overview it. My mind is very dull. I need to read many times to get those points stuck into my head. So just for my benefit, I'm gonna read those. There are 7 benefits chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Cleanses the mirror of the heart. And when enough dirt is removed, the great forest fire of material life is extinguished. Awakening of our spiritual identity, white lotus of our true good fortune spreads and begins to blossom on the cooling moonbeams of Krishna's holy name. Transcendental knowledge naturally follows the chanting of the Krishna holy names, begins with that we are the eternal soul, not this body, and approaches completion when we realize our relationship with Krishna. Chanting the holy name releases in the heart an ever increasing ocean of transcendental ecstasy. Step by step, our taste for chanting becomes full, relish the nectarian taste for which the soul has been hankering for millions of lives. The holy name bathes the soul, cleansing all the subtle and gross contamination and immerse in ecstasy. It destroys the influence of the material world and establishes the soul in a world of joy, spiritual world, while we live in the material world. Now, if we are not seeing those benefits in our life, it has some reason for it. There are 9 keys, and the first key is that we have to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra attentively. When we don't do this, the reason that we are not tasting those benefits because lacking the spiritual depth to realize that we are very tiny, insignificant spark. The world should move around as per our desire. That's what we feel, but we should give up that thought. Then thirst for temporary things, material comfort, heavenly pleasure, mystic power or liberation. And also we never give up the attachment to object which is unrelated to Krishna, deceit, fault finding, envy, desire for name and fame. And the last thing is aparadh. When we chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we don't remain attentive. And unfavorable result will come through the broken names chanting. And what it will happen if you are not chanting properly? These are the result we will see in our life. And if you see something, little tinge of it, you should know that you really need to correct your situation right away. Performing devotional service not for Krishna's pleasure, but for something else. Faithlessness, we will slowly lose the faith. Attachment, which destroy the faith in the Lord. Haribol. Slackness in the spiritual practice. Pride in one's devotional advancement. Those are the result of our offensive chanting. So first key is to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. The second key was listen to one mantra at a time. Third key was state your determination before any devotional practice. We have to state to our mind what we are going to do. It's not that mind should tell us what to do. We need to train our mind. This is what I want to do, and you have to listen. And mind does give up the tendency once we become strong and determined. Fourth key is bring mind back from wherever it hankers. Mind will go around because we engage in so many different activities during the day. So mind has a tendency to go over those things wherever it goes. Our thing is we have to be so alert while chanting. As soon as it goes, bring it back. And the best thing is the mind will not go anywhere is you listen each syllabus. Then I guarantee you the mind won't go anywhere. Fifth key, become detached. Detachment. Don't worry about the last mantra, how bad or good you chanted, or don't think that how good or bad the next mantra you will be chanting. Sixth key is that neglect the mind completely, Prabhupada says. I was telling during the meditation, the devotee asks, Srila Prabhupada, mind goes everywhere. So Prabhupada was thinking what the mind do, neglect the mind completely. Just listen. Seventh key to improve chanting is humility. Humility is a quality which will come into our devotional practice when we make advancement. It's not that artificially you will be able to engrow some humility in our life. As you advance it, humility will increase. And then the eighth step was Nama Ashraya. We should take complete shelter in the holy name. We have completely conviction that just by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, everything that the soul is seeking for millions of life can be fulfilled completely. And the ninth key, that we may do everything in our capacity, but still we have to wait for the mercy of Krishna, because sometimes Krishna, as we were reading in the meditations, that he wants to intensify our desire to attain him. And that's why sometimes also Krishna bring the obstacle in our life. So then we exhibit that during the obstacle, still I'm so fixed Krishna, I cannot live without chanting your holy name, then Krishna will become pleased slowly. So those are some thoughts that I thought that we should review before we will move to the different things, the theme for the meditation. So yesterday we were reading the prayers of Lord Shiva, 424:65, and we were at the middle of the purport. So I would like to read what we read yesterday to bring up to the speed. However, the Lord is so powerful that he destroyed everything in the form of the death. As Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Mrityuhu Sarva Haraschaham. I am all devouring death. The Lord is just like death to the atheist, for he takes away everything they accumulate in the material world. Hiranyakashipu, the father of Prahlad, always denied the existence of God, and he tried to kill his 5-year-old boy due to boy's unflinching faith in God. However, in due course of time, the Lord appeared as Nrsimhadev and killed Hiranyakasipu in the presence of his son. As stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam, so now we will be continuing. 113:47. This killing process is natural. Jivo jivasya jivanam. One animal is food for the another animal. A frog is eaten by the snake, a snake is eaten by the mongoose, and the mongoose is eaten by the another animal. In this way, the process of destruction goes on by the supreme will of the Lord. Although we do not see the hand of the Supreme Lord directly, we can feel the presence of their hand through the Lord process of destruction. We can see the clouds scattered by the wind, although we cannot see how this is being done because it is not possible to see the wind. Similarly, although we do not directly see the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we can see that he controlled the process of destruction. The destructive process is going on fearlessly under the control of the Lord, but the atheist cannot see it. So we will continue Lord Shiva's prayer, 424:66. My dear Lord, all living entities within this material world are mad after planning for things, and they are always busy with a desire to do this or that. This is due to uncontrollable greed. The greed for material enjoyment is always existing in the living entity. But your Lordship is always alert, and in due course of time, you strike him, just as the snake sees a mouse and very easily swallows him. So either we surrender to him voluntarily, or he will just take us. Either way, we will be diminished. Purport: everyone is greedy and everyone makes plan for material enjoyment. In his lust for material enjoyment, the living entity is described as a madman, as stated in Bhagavad Gita 3:27. Prakuteha kriyamanani guna karmani sarvasaha ahankara vimutatma kartaham iti manyate. The bewildered spirit soul, under the influence of the three modes of material nature, think himself to be the doer of activity which are in actuality carried out by nature. When we will get the realization of that verse. Everything is enacted by the laws of nature, and these laws are under the direction of the Supreme Personality of God. The atheist or unintelligent man do not know this. They are busy making their own plans, and big nations are busy expanding their empires. And yet, we know that in due course of time, many empires have come into existence and been destroyed. Many aristocratic families were created by people in their extreme madness. But we can see that in the course of time, those families and empires have all been destroyed. But still, the foolish atheists do not accept the supreme authority of the Lord. Such foolish people unnecessarily concoct their own duties without referring to the supreme authority of the Lord. The so called political leaders are busy making plans to advance the material prosperity of their nation. But factually, these political leaders only want an exalted position for themselves, nothing else. Due to their greed for material positions, they falsely present themselves as leaders before the people and collect their votes, although they are completely under the grips of the laws of material nature. These are some of the faults of the modern civilization. Without taking to God consciousness and accepting the authority of the Lord, the living entity become ultimately confused and frustrated in their plan-making attempts. Due to their unauthorized plans for economic development, the price of commodity is rising daily all over the world, so much so that it has become difficult for the poorer classes, and they are suffering the consequences. And due to lack of Krishna consciousness, people are being fooled by so-called leaders and plan makers. Consequently, the suffering of the people are increasing every single day. According to the laws of nature, which are backed by the Lord, nothing can be permanent within this material world. Therefore, everyone should be allowed to take shelter of the Absolute in order to be saved. In this regard, Lord Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita 5:29, Bhoktaram Yagnatapasham Sarvaloka Maheswaram Shuhadam Sarvabhutanam Gyatva Mam Santim Rachati. Peace formula. The sage who knows me as the ultimate purpose of all sacrifices and austerities, the supreme Lord of all planets and demigods, and the benefactor and well-wisher of all living entity, attain peace from the pangs of material miseries. And if we are not peaceful, there is no way we will be able to perform our devotional practice with determination. If one wants peace of mind, so here is the solution, and tranquility in society, he must accept the fact that the real enjoyer is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Lord is the proprietor of everything all over the universe, and He is the supreme friend of all living entities as well. By understanding this, people can become happy and peaceful individually and also collectively. Lord Shiva is giving wonderful knowledge to all of us because he is the topmost Vaishnavas. So he continues 424:67. My dear Lord, any learned person knows that unless he worship you, his entire life is spoiled. What a great sentence. Knowing this, how could he give up worshipping your lotus feet? Even our father and spiritual master, Lord Brahma, unhesitantly worshipped you, and the 14 Manus followed in their footsteps. Purport. The word Pandita means a wise man. Who is actually a wise man? The wise man is described in the Bhagavad Gita 7:19. Bahunam janmanamante jnanvan mam prapadyante vasudevaha sarvam iti sa mahatma sudurlabha. After many births and deaths, he who is actually in knowledge surrender unto me, knowing me to be the cause of all causes and all that is. Such a great soul is very rare. So Krishna knows, how many of us will remain steadfast. He knows our precarious situations and he is trying to help us every step of our life if we open our eyes. Thus, when the wise man actually becomes wise after many births and whimsical attempts at self-realization, he surrendered unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. Such a Mahatma, a learned person, knows that Krishna Vasudeva is everything. Vasudeva Sarvam iti. Learned person always think that life is wasted unless they worship Lord Krishna or become his devotee. Srila Rupa Goswami also says that when one becomes an advanced devotee, he understands that he should be reserved and perseverant, kshantihi, peaceful, and that he should engage in the service of the Lord and not waste any more time. Avyartha kalatvam. He should also be detached from all material attraction, viraktihi, and he should not long for any material respect in return for his activity, mana sunyata. He should be certain that Krishna will bestow his mercy upon him, asa bandha, and he should always be very eager to serve the Lord faithfully. The wise man is always very eager to glorify the Lord by chanting and hearing Namagane Sadaruchi. And he is always eager to describe the transcendental qualities of the Lord. He should also be attracted to those places where the Lord has his pastime. These are symptoms of an advanced devotee. An advanced devotee or a perfect human being who is actually wise and learned cannot give up his service at the lotus feet of the Lord in any circumstances. Although Lord Brahma has a long lifespan, I cannot read the number, but 4 trillion, no, 4,320,000,000,000 years constitute 12 hours in a day of Brahma. Brahma is afraid of death and consequently engage in the devotional service of the Lord. Similarly, all the Manus who appear, Manu lives, how many? Like Kali Yuga, Dwapar, Treta, and Satyuga, all combined, that's one cycle. And they live for 71 cycle, I think. In Brahma's one day, 14 Manus appear and disappear. The first Manu is Swayambhu Manu. Each Manu lives for 71 yugas, yes. Each consists of 4,320,000 years. So, and they still, although the Manu have such a long lifespan, they still prepare for the next life by engaging in devotional service of the Lord. So our life 75 is nothing. It's like a fraction of a second. It will be gone. So many people has lived this world. They didn't take anything and nobody remembered them. Remember, no matter what you do, nothing will come. Nobody will remember nothing. You just fix on yourself and make your life successful. And at the time of death, nobody can help you or assist you. That's your journey. And we should be responsible for that final moment of our life. That why I didn't act properly. That's why I have to live the world like that. Otherwise, we should live this world very jubilantly in very peaceful mode. So I think we will stop here. The time has come and we didn't finish that. So we will start from tomorrow. This is a wonderful instruction Lord Shiva is giving to tell us to wake up. Don't give 100% priority to the material thing. It will come and it will go. I have experience in my life. Don't worry about it. Get fixed on chanting. Give your life for chanting. And then you will see everything else will come even much better way than what you have. Just remember this. With those thoughts, always remain happy, jubilant, and totally fearless. And whoever you come across, give them a kind word. And they will get convinced if they see you happy, not otherwise. So this is the prachar is very easy when you have the perfect achar. So we as a devotee, we must exhibit those symptoms of dedication to Lord Sri Krishna. Otherwise, why we want to call us a devotee even? With those thoughts, always give this Krishna consciousness to everybody. And I'm really wants to offer the humble obeisances at the dusk of these wonderful devotees that, I'm a useless guy, I'm a retired guy, I have nothing to do, so I can do. But you are grahastha, taking charge of the family life affairs, working, and still you find the time. So you are going to make a lot of advancement. When I was at your stage, I was not that steady. So don't worry, Krishna will be very kind you to all. So with those thoughts, I would like to offer my humble obeisances at the desk of those devotees who join every day, despite many difficulties, from Houston, from India, from New Jersey, Boston, Virginia, Boise, St. Louis, Alachua, Montreal, College Station, San Jose, Tempe, Detroit, and Brampton, Ontario. Vanchakalpatarubhasya kripa
Yes,
sindhubhaiva
Patitana Pavana Beva